completely fatuous. This country underwent, in 1997, a political revolution which matched the cultural revolution which had been going on here for 30 years before that. And at that point, particularly with the passage of the Equality Act of 2010, the whole nature of the country changed. And it really became the law actually backed what, say, the only shorthand for it is political correctness. The law actually backed political correctness. As an example of this, so it's an important one to me, but it tells you quite a lot about what happened. By proclaiming the principle of equality, what it did was it stated that Christianity was equal to all other religions. Now, that may seem a perfectly reasonable statement, particularly if you're not Christian. But in a country which is and has been specifically Christian in its law and government for centuries, and you look at the coronation service if you doubt me, and even the architecture of the Houses of Parliament is specifically Christian. The way that we eat, dress, and behave has its basis in Christian scripture and thought. So to make Christianity equal to Islam, Hinduism, Jainism, any other religion you care to name, it may be terribly nice if equality is what you believe to be most important, but it dethrones Christianity as the principal basis of thought and law in this country. And it's a revolutionary moment. It also states all these protected characteristics, certain things which if you are, you can demand the protection of the law against anything which you regard as criticism or a threat of you. And this is really the basis of an enormous industry under which practically anybody in these protected groups is able to put down really any attempts to disagree with what they believe. And it's a form of it's not yet totalitarian, but it's certainly a form of thought control, and it's revolutionary in its effect. This has gone together with the complete transformation of the police, who look vaguely the same, but don't in any way uphold the sort of law they upheld in my state up to the age of about 30, of the schools, of the universities, of the broadcasting organizations. All this achieved by what's called the Long March through the institutions, beginning in the 1960s, and all the 1960s trots, such as I was, rising to power in their organizations and institutions in round about the same era that Blair and his people came to office. Astonishing facts, and I've written a long article about this, which anybody can look up on the internet. Very striking numbers of Blair's cabinet were supposedly ex-Marxists of one kind or another, Trotskyists or communists. And the interesting thing is that, unlike me, I can't stop talking about it, but if you ask any of them, if you ask Peter Mandelson or John Reed or Alistair Darling or Alan Milburn or Stephen Byers or Bob Ainsworth or Blair himself, who turns out to have been a student Trotskyist as well, if you ask them about it, they don't generally want to talk about it very much.
No.
And it's fascinating that they are so reticent about it. I think because they moved on from being sort of teenage revolutionaries into being much more serious grown-up revolutionaries, and they continue to transform the country. One of Blair's speechwriters who went off to work in education, a very clever man called Peter Hyman, said quite recently the New Labour project was far more revolutionary than anything Jeremy Corbyn ever came up with. And it's them saying it, it's not me.
Yeah.
We will make America great again.